Welcome to Equus Workforce Solutions Pathway to Success video series. Today we are going to discuss conflict intervention tips and techniques. My name is Rich Williams. I am the business solution consultant for Equus Workforce Solutions in the Gaithersburg office. And I'm also the career instructor as well. So a quick introduction and overview to conflict intervention. So, the purpose of today's class is to discuss intervention and look at it from the perspective of a critical skill in both professional and personal settings. This webinar aims to provide participants with practical strategies to identify, manage, and resolve conflicts effectively. We'll explore the root causes of conflict, the role of respect and resolution, and actionable techniques to intervene constructively. By the end of the session, individuals will understand how to approach conflicts with confidence, maintain positive relationships, and foster a collaborative environment. The objectives include recognizing early signs of conflict, applying communication strategies, and of course, leveraging tools and techniques to de escalate tensions. So, how does conflict arise? One of the basic things to understand as it relates to conflict is anytime that you have more than one person in the same space, there is an opportunity for conflict. We share different values, we share different opinions, we have different beliefs as it relates to government and religion, etc., etc. So there are opportunities for conflict. So the goal isn't to avoid the conflict. The goal is how do you manage it successfully? So conflict often arises when differences in values, goals, or communication styles are and or misunderstandings are unmet. Expectations and or competition for resources can also escalate tensions between individuals or groups. I remember a number of years ago, my wife sent me out to purchase a television on a Black Friday. This is many years ago. And so I armed myself, I prepared myself, armed myself meaning mentally, okay, I'm going out. It's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be hustle and bustle. And this particular TV at the time was at I believe it was a Home Depot. So I arrived at the Home Depot early in the morning when the doors opened. Me and probably 50 or 70 or so other shoppers went into the Home Depot. I went to where this particular television was that my wife sent me on this mission to recover. And I'll never forget this. As I am attempting to get this television and put it in my cart, a smaller elderly woman shoved me to the left and took the television. Now I'm 6'1", about 200 pounds. She was probably 4 feet 11 and a half, 92 pounds wet. And of course, I wasn't hurt, but here, friend, was an opportunity for conflict. But I chose to wait, and of course, another shipment came in that same day. As a matter of fact, that very same minute, a Home Depot or Lowe's, I don't remember which store it was, directed me to a side stack of television that was overlooked, and I safely got my television. But here's the point. External factors such as organizational changes, workload pressures, unclear roles can contribute to conflict. Recognizing these triggers early is essential for timely intervention. By understanding the underlying causes, leaders, and team members can address issues before they become disruptive. So, this proactive approach reduces stress, improves morale, and enhances productivity in the workplace and or at home. So, one of the first things that we want to do as it relates to conflict resolution is we want to build respect and trust before, during, and after the potential conflict. So, building respect and trust. Respect is the cornerstone of effective conflict resolution. When individuals feel valued and heard, they are more likely to engage in constructive dialogue. Building trust involves active listening, it involves acknowledging different perspectives and maintaining confidentiality during discussions. Respectful communication reduces defensiveness and fosters collaborations. Techniques such as using neutral language, avoiding blame, and focusing in on shared goals help create an environment where conflicts can be resolved amicably, which means peacefully. Organizations that prioritize respect experience fewer disrupts and stronger team cohesion. So, as an example, if you are in a conflict situation, language that you can use to avoid focusing on who's wrong. Language you can use is I hear what you're saying and I'm understanding that you are saying blank. You know, the goal of effective conflict resolution isn't proving who's right or wrong. The goal is to determine what's wrong and how do we fix it. And sometimes fixing it is simply a matter of agreeing to disagree. That way you can keep the relationship moving forward. So here are a few techniques for you to take in consideration as it relates to resolving conflict peacefully. Effective conflict intervention requires a structured approach. Begin by assessing the situation objectively and identifying the interests of all parties involved. Techniques such as mediation, negotiation, and or collaborative problem solving are widely used. Mediation involves a neutral third party facilitating dialogue, while negotiation focuses on finding mutual acceptable solutions. Timeouts can be helpful to allow emotions to settle before resuming discussions. However, additionally, setting ground rules for respect during the communication ensures that conversations remain productive. These strategies empower individuals to resolve conflicts without damaging relationships. And let me just plug this note. Relationships are more important than incidents when it comes to conflict management. So, active listening and assertiveness are some strong communication strategies that you can consider using during a conflict. Communication is central to conflict resolution. Active listening involves giving full attention to the speaker, reflecting back what is heard, and asking clarifying questions. So, an example would be so I understand that you are saying, and then you clarify or you repeat back to the individual what you believe you heard. It gives them an opportunity to say yes, or here's one. I know that's what I said, but that's not what I meant, right? So that's active listening. This demonstrates empathy and reduces misunderstandings. Assertiveness, on the other hand, allows individuals to express their needs and concerns respectfully without aggression. Combining these skills creates a balanced approach where all parties feel heard, valued, and this will help avoid any passive or aggressive communication during the conflict. The key, friend, is to maintain trust as we are achieving or working towards this resolution during this conflict. Now, there are digital sources or tools that you can use that can help resolve conflict for those that are tech savvy. Technology supports conflict management through apps designed for mindfulness, stress reduction, and communication improvement. So, tools like Headspace or Calm, CALM, help individuals manage their emotions before engaging in discussions. Collaboration platforms such as Slack or Microsoft Teams offer structured communication channels that helps to reduce misunderstandings. Additionally, online courses and webinars provide ongoing education on conflict resolution techniques. Leveraging these resources ensures that individuals have practical tools to maintain harmony in diverse environments. So reflect on this for a moment before going on. What are some tools that you use to help manage the conflict? Tools that I didn't mention during this webinar. So then the next step is we want to take these techniques and or these tools that we are learning and we want to begin to apply the techniques in real life. I have a mantra when it comes to education, and that is education without application is worse than having no education at all. So if you're going to get the application, I mean the education, friend, if you're going to get the education, if you're going to get the learning, if you're going to take the resources, if you're going to take the webinar, if you're going to read books, ebooks, if you're going to watch the podcast to get the education, you're going to have to apply it. You need to apply it. So here's how you can apply conflict intervention techniques effectively. Start by maintaining self awareness and managing your emotions first. That is so critical. It's so powerful to be emotionally aware of what you are thinking and what you are feeling, right? It's managing your emotions. Understand this about emotions, friend, that emotions, they're not right or wrong. They're just simply the way that we feel. Now, what happens when our emotions become challenging and in some cases wrong is when we don't effectively manage our emotions during a conflict. It escalates as opposed to us de-escalating. So when that happens, use breathing exercises to stay calm during tense moments. Establish clear communication, norms within teams to prevent misunderstanding. Encourage open dialogue and feedback to address issues early. When conflict arises, focus on interests rather than positions and seek the win-win solution. Document agreements to ensure accountability and follow-up. These practical steps help create a culture of collaboration and continuous improvement. And let me just reiterate the win-win conflict solution. The goal is to create a win. And sometimes when we create the win, along the way of creating that win-win scenario, we got to understand that we're both are on the same side as relates to what we are moving towards in the workplace or at home. So the win-win mindset isn't who's wrong, but what's wrong and how do we fix it. And the win-win creates an environment where we both feel like we were heard, understood, and we can now move forward in peace. Some key takeaways from effective conflict intervention. So now understand this. I said this in the beginning. I'll say it again. Conflict is inevitable. But with the right strategies, it can lead to growth and innovation. Key takeaways from today include understanding the root cause of conflict, prioritizing respect, and applying structured intervention techniques. Communication skills such as active listening and assertiveness are essential for resolution. Now, active listening is simply establishing eye contact, nodding appropriately, verbal gestures such as yes, mm-hmm, I see. That's part of active listening. What's not a part of active listening is while the other person is sharing their grievance, sharing their perspective, I cannot be forming my response to whatever it is that they are currently saying. If I am thinking about my response while the individual is sharing their perspective, I am not an active listener. So, our goal, friend, is for you to utilize these tools and resources to support ongoing learning and good emotional regulation. As a next step, individuals are encouraged to practice these techniques in their daily interactions and share insights with their teams or share insights with their family members or friends to help foster a positive and collaborative work environment. Please make sure that you take the short quiz that follows this webinar. Thank you so much for your attendance. Have a great day.